This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Hello and welcome to the Late Night News. I'm Ramanathan. Let's go for the top stories at this hour. I'm saddened by the death of my dear friend, says Karunanidhi of CPM patriarch Jyoti Basu. Jayalalitha accuses the DMK government of allowing mobile phones and snacks inside the assembly. The DMK hits back. Is this any way to beautify our world? Famous Marina Beach, a reality check a day after Kanum Pongal.
Just a day after the festivities ended, this is what Chennai's most beautiful natural spot looks like.
Where safety guidelines ignored yet again at Madurai's bull taming event, over 50 injured, triggering the safety versus tradition debate all over again.
It is a risk to life of people, just for the entertainment of some people. I don't think it is worth saying that I'm going to cling on to this tradition.
In Madras city alone, in road accident every day, 40 people die. Can you ask everybody to stop driving?
The famed Indian batting order fails to click on day one of the first test against Bangladesh. And the country's top QS to battle it out at the All India Invitation Snooker Tournament in Chennai. Veteran communist leader Jyoti Basu's body will be handed over to the SSKM hospital as per his wish. Basu had pledged his body with Jnanapardhan, an NGO in the city several years back. Jyoti Basu's body will be taken from funeral parlour Peace Haven on Tuesday morning to the State Secretariat, Assembly and the party headquarters. Later, the body will be taken to the SSKM hospital where it will be handed over to the authorities. 95 years old communist leader Jyoti Basu died this morning at a hospital in Kolkata from multiple organ failure after being on life support system for quite some time. His death marks the end of a political era in West Bengal. He served as a chief minister for the state for 23 years. The CPIM, speaking about its leader Jyoti Basu, said he was a source of inspiration for the communist movement in the country. In a condolence resolution, the party's Politburo said Basu played a lead role in developing the party in Bengal. It said as a communist leader, he never wavered when the Soviet Communion broke up or during setbacks for socialist policies. Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi has said that he was saddened by the death of Basu. In the statement in Chennai, Karunanidhi described Basu as an outspoken leader and recalled his experiences of working closely with him. Karunanidhi described Basu as a pioneer of the socialist movement. Speaking about Jyoti Basu, Tamil Nadu's main opposition leader Jayalalitha said India has lost a true patriot. She said Basu was seen with great respect even by his rivals. The leader of the MDMK, Vaiko, said Basu's death was a loss to the country and his Marxist party. The leader of the PMK, Ramdas, also expressed his condolences. The editor-in-chief of the Hindu newspaper, N. Ram, who has written extensively on Basu, shared his views about the veteran communist leader.
I spent several hours with him, and on the night Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated. Jyoti Basu happened to be here and I was with him, and I saw the shock, how upset, how deeply upset he was on that occasion. I think he had respect for leaders of other parties, even though there were bitter differences, an extremely civilized approach to politics.
Well, the State Assembly session is over, but the war of words between the arch rivals AIADMK and DMK continues. Grabbing the opportunity on MGR's 93rd birthday celebrations, AIADMK Chief Jayalalitha hit out at the DMK for violating the rules of the House. The Tamil Nadu Assembly session may have ended, but the exchange of words between the AIADMK and the DMK seems to be getting hotter by the day. In a statement today after she visited the party headquarters to mark the birth anniversary of MGR, Jayalalitha has blamed the DMK for violating the TN legislative rules. While there is a ban on usage of mobile phones and eatables, she says that the DMK members are guilty of using them. Besides, they were also found taking eatables into the house. She's also blamed the government over a barrage of other issues. She's also pointed out as to how the DMK is, using populist and populist schemes to attract people and accuse them of giving people freebies. These are various issues which Jayalalitha has raised in the statement given out today. Jayalalitha's retort comes after she was interrupted by DMK ministers during her speech on the floor of the assembly, making a veiled reference to S.V. Shekhar, who was expelled from the AIADMK last year. Jayalalitha said one among the violators was a member who does not represent any party. S.V. Shekhar, denying the charges, challenged her to prove the allegations.
Or signal, I don't know. So I can give my cell phone to anybody to check it up. This is a challenge, and if the signal and if the phone is working, they can take my phone free.
The DMK was quick to react. A senior leader of the ruling party brushed off the allegations as silly.
She can level very good allegations. There are allegations, there are violations, and all that the things are there. She could have taken up those matters, but instead of that, she is concentrating on silly matters.
The year's first assembly session was stormy as both the parties locked horns over several issues, including the DMK minister's apathy towards a dying policeman in Tirunelveli. In Chennai, with camera person John and Srinivas and reporter Shabir Ahmed, Ramanathan, NDTV Hindu. In a tragic incident, police in the Pacific island of Fiji have recovered the decomposed remains of 2 Indians from Tanjavur. They have also arrested 2 men in connection with their murder.
Lakshmi is inconsolable knowing that she won't be able to see her dear dad ever again. The entire family is shocked knowing that her father Ramakrishnan Amirthalingam and his business partner Rajamanikam Venkatachalam were murdered by their own employee Ravi and his friends for monetary gain.
எல்லாத்தையும் நம்மளே அண்டர்டேக் பண்ணிக்குவோம். பிஸ்னஸ்ஸு, யார்டு, வெஹிக்கிள்ஸு, பேங்கு எல்லாமே அவனுக்கு அந்த ரொட்டேஷன் தெரியும். அவனுக்கு எல்லாமே அப்படி அண்டர் பண்ணி யாரும் வந்து கேட்க முடியாது, கேட்க மாட்டாங்க, இந்தியாவிலேருந்து அவ்வளோ தூரம் வந்து கேட்க மாட்டாங்க அப்படிங்கிற இதில் தான் அவன் வந்து பண்ணியிருக்கணும் அந்த மாதிரி.
Ramakrishnan's family in Chennai suspected foul play when he went missing in December last year. They tried to contact the Fijian police to trace the missing men, but their efforts were futile.
Even though the government of India took all-out effort to trace the Indian nationals, the government of Suva, the Fiji, as well as the local police, miserably failed. Had they acted swiftly, firmly and whatnot, they would have saved the life, precious life of 2 young Indian entrepreneurs. It is unfortunate on the part of the government of Fiji Island and the police of the Fiji Islands. We condemn it.
Ramakrishnan's family now says Fijian police have arrested Ravi and Nadeem. They confessed to police that they killed the 2 Indians and packed their remains in suitcases and buried them in a farm. Fijian police say that they are on the lookout for 3 more suspects. In Chennai, with camera person Srinivas, Bertila for NDTV Hindu.
Truly a tragic incident away from home. Now, when we get back, a novel idea to attract doctors to serve in rural areas. But will it work? Stay tuned for more on that.